Good Thursday morning to you, my TSSG family, and welcome to day number 4 of the Daily Reading Challenge. My name is Waynell Henson. You're on that Sunday School Girls channel, and here I create Christian content that is based on and or inspired by the Sunday school lessons serving both the international lesson community and the legacy content series. This is the Daily Reading Challenge for the winter quarter, and this week is the Legacy Lesson Contents Daily Reading Challenge. And so this morning we are going to the book of Daniel, chapter 2. I welcome each of you as you're coming in. I've shared this morning on both YouTube and on Facebook. And ask that if you are part of the Facebook community that you make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, which is That Sunday School Girl. And YouTubers, I need you to make sure that you're subscribed to the Facebook page, and you can find me under the name there, That Sunday School Girl, as well. So as we're looking to grow this space and grow community, we ask as well that you would share this video into the spaces that you touch and inspire someone to perhaps engage with the word or have a moment of devotion with us, but also invite your friends in your community to like us and subscribe and help us to grow this space. As I shared, good morning as you're coming in. I see you. And thank you, Sister Geraldine. You were actually number 1 this morning on the Daily Reading Challenge. This is not a full-blown Bible study. This is going to be sort of a peek into my personal journal, my diary, and my reflection of this morning's passage. And so I invite you to share with me things that resonate with you. And I believe that the daily readings, if you're looking for a way to bolster your own reading of the word, the daily readings are a great way to do that because it's a quick read and it gives you a chance just to reflect on a passage. Today, Daniel chapter 2, verses 17 through 23. Our reading title is Blessed by God's Revelation. King James Version. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire the mercies of God, the God of heaven, concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom to the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O God, God of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me now what we desire of thee. For thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. In Daniel chapter 2, and this is my reflection, the king has had a dream. He needs or wants to know its interpretation. He's called his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and Chaldeans to tell him his dreams. They assured the king that they could do it. They had all the right resources, but needed the king to tell them his dream. The king wanted to be confident of their interpretation and wanted them to tell him both the dream and the interpretation. He wanted to know for sure that they could do more than just Google it. He wanted to be confident that they could tap into something more than just resources, into something beyond, and that they had supernatural skill. He even offered a reward, gifts and great honor if the interpretation was found, but failure to interpret would mean death. There was no man that could interpret, and Daniel was different. He had a connection with God, a connection with the God of Israel, who released to him supernatural wisdom to know the dream and its meaning. There are, I think, 7 concepts that I see in today's reading, and I felt like writing more like a narrative today. The first thing I observe in the passage is gifts. I can know that God has given me gifts for use, and at the right time, God puts them on display. For me, reading this passage isn't just about the revelation of a dream. It is also the revelation of our gifts, our talents, and our abilities that God has placed in us that are revealed or uncovered at just the right time, the time that he is determined. And here, there are 4 special men, 4 death row inmates, and God gave them learning and skill in all literature and wisdom. I know that from chapter 1. Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. These 4 men, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, their names mean God is my judge, God is gracious, who is what God is, and God will help. And so when Daniel goes home, God is my judge speaks to God is gracious. He speaks to who is what God is, and he speaks to God will help. And together these men seek God. I see humility. I can be humble when I use my gifts for God. Here, Daniel calls his friends to prayer. It's interesting that Daniel did not hesitate to tell the king that he could interpret the dream. And yet, when he was back with his friends, the first thing he did was engage them in a time of prayer. Just because one has a gift doesn't mean that we don't need to pray. In fact, we can never be so confident that our gifts, skills, talents, and abilities are so sharp and sure that we don't pray. Our complete dependence must always be on God. Prayer best activates our gifts and makes the best use of the gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Valuing community. Using our gifts may also mean recognizing that we don't do everything alone. In Daniel 1:7, these 4 men, God gave each person something. My Bishop Thurston, says that God gave everyone something, but he does not give everyone everything. And Daniel doesn't jump to conclusions because he was gifted to make the moment all about him or to receive all of the credit. He engages the gifts of the group. A gifted group sometimes runs the risk of competition, but these 4 men prayed and worked together. There was power when they asked and prayed together. We can value others and how God uses them without competition, without feeling any sort of way or feeling threatened by the gifts of others. We can work in unity and harmony to accomplish the purpose of God. I see an ask with specificity. Daniel and his friends don't just pray generally, they pray with specificity. They are in crisis and they get directly to the point of letting God know exactly what they need. They needed to know the meaning of the dream and to have their lives spared. I know that I can go confidently to God in my times of need. And God answers. God answers Daniel's prayer quickly in the night. And as a result, Daniel turns the credit back and blesses God. God released the answer that Daniel needed, and he was in a position to go and execute with the king. How easy it would have been for him to jump up and simply go to work. But Daniel takes the moment to pause and recognize. He recognized that he had experienced God personally, that he needed God, he had access to God. God heard him, and God responded. And where others might say that Daniel was good, he realized that it was all God. God put him in a position to be used to interpret the dream, but prayer was that proper pause and the acknowledgement in his success. We too must pause and acknowledge God in our success, knowing that God is sovereign, that God is the source, and God using us in any way is a display of his mercy in our lives because, quite frankly, he owes us nothing. That is my reflection on the passage. I'm looking through your comments to see if there's anything that you all shared from your reading of the passage this morning. Did you read the passage? Let me know if you read the passage. If you read the passage, tell me in the comment, I read the passage. And do me a favor, also make sure that you're clicking that thumbs up like button wherever you are, in fact, tell me, are you on Facebook or YouTube? I'd love to know where our visits are from this morning. Looks like I can see most of you are on YouTube this morning, but let me know what you thought about the passage, anything that you gained from it this morning. Yes, Sister Jeanette, God owes us nothing, but I'm grateful this morning for God choosing to use me. That's how I want to say that. I am grateful. I never take for granted the spaces that he allows me, and I do recognize that it is nothing, that anything that I can do, that I accomplish is not anything that's just about me. But I bless God this morning that his love and his mercy are so great toward me that he allows me to be part of his great plan. So go ahead and drop your gratitude for the day. We're going to pray, and I want you to go about your day and have a super day. Father, bless you this morning. Thank you for another day. Thank you for our lying down last night, our rising this morning, and thank you for all that this day holds in store. You are great and you are kind, and we bless you today. First of all, that we even have access to you. Thank you that you're in our lives, and that as we go through, you use us, and we never know how and where you will use us. You have made us the answer to someone's problem on today. So as we go today, make us sensitive to the needs that are around us. And as we have the opportunity to be your witnesses where we are, God calls us always to remain in a position of being humble, knowing that you choose who you will use, and that our gifts, talents, skills, and abilities are not because we are wonderful, but literally because you make choice of us. And in those moments when we are able to be a solution or a resource in any way, God, never allow us to be so arrogant that we take the credit for ourselves. And even before we go to work, God always calls us to take the right pause and to seek you in all that we do, knowing that we must seek you first in everything so that we have the right ways to move and the right answers. God, where we need wisdom today, release to us what we need to know. Thank you for giving us what we need, when we need it, the way that we need it. Thank you today for access to you. And thank you that you don't just let us talk, but you hear, you listen, and you have a willingness to act on our behalf. God, help us as if we're working in communities. Help us to value others and not to discount the gifts of others, and never to desire to elevate ourselves over others, but to realize that we definitely are a community that is better together. Thank you that as we go into this day, you're with us. Thank you that you will give us guidance and all that we need. I pray that you'll bless those who are present now and even those who will catch the replay. We love you. We give you glory. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you all so very much. Everybody go and have a super day. Bye-bye.